Lin steps forward, declaring the two captives now belong to his subordinates as a reward. The goblins cheer wildly, praising Lin for his generosity. They rush toward the women, excited and disorderly, as chaos breaks out among them. A swarm of goblins fights among themselves, each trying to claim one of the captives first. They shout over one another, grabbing and pushing, as Lin looks on with a sinister grin. Later, Lin questions what the goblins did at the enemy camp. One of them explains they wiped out almost everyone in the lizard tribe, sparing only a few to lure the rest into a trap. Lin's expression shifts into shock as he hears what his subordinates did. The goblins panic, realizing they may have made a grave mistake. They nervously apologize, fearing punishment. But instead of rage, Lin bursts out laughing. He praises their actions, calling the ambush brilliant, especially applauding Goblin Kwang for his thoughtful gift. Goblin Kwang proudly bows, saying he only did what was expected. With explosive force, the ground shatters as the reptilian warrior launches forward. He charges straight through the ruined village, eyes glowing red with rage. He shouts out for the goblins, vowing vengeance for what they've done. Suddenly, his expression freezes. His eyes widen as he senses something horrifying just ahead. Before him, a group of goblins surrounds a fallen body, hungrily feasting without restraint. The reptilian warrior stumbles upon the lifeless bodies of his wife and daughter. Devastation fills his voice as he calls out to them in despair. Lin calmly approaches with goblins behind him, mocking the situation. He tells the warrior it's unfortunate he arrived too late to stop them. Fury explodes within the reptilian leader. With lightning crackling from his mouth, he vows that none of them will leave alive. Releasing a massive stream of toxic energy from his mouth, he launches a deadly breath attack toward Lin and the goblins, determined to take revenge at any cost.
A massive surge of blue energy explodes across the battlefield as Lin launches a powerful attack. The leader is hurled backward, caught off guard by the overwhelming force, his body twisting mid-air. As the creature crashes down, Lin darts toward him with intense speed. His red eyes glow with determination, and his figure blurs with motion, closing the distance between them in an instant. Lin lands a direct blow to the creature's chest, sending shockwaves through its massive frame. The leader's eyes widen in disbelief and fear. He realizes too late that Lin's strength was far beyond his expectations. Lin lunges forward as two powerful green energy beams shoot from the reptilian creature leader's hands. The clash of power lights up the area, with Lin closing in, undeterred by the sudden counterattack. The leader regains consciousness. He questions what just happened, realizing with a startled expression that he had blacked out momentarily from Lin's earlier blow. Lin prepares to strike again, gripping his weapon tightly. He mocks the enemy for trying to summon reinforcements, reminding him that this isolated region blocks any major summoning attempts. The leader roars furiously, surrounded by crackling green energy. Despite Lin's warning, he boasts that even without summoned monsters, his own strength alone is enough to crush him. The reptilian creature leader undergoes a terrifying transformation. His body grows rapidly, pulsing with green energy as his muscles expand and his presence becomes more intimidating. Glowing cracks appear across his skin as the transformation intensifies. His arms regenerate, and toxic energy swirls around him, now fully transformed. The leader grins menacingly. He declares that with his infinite strength, Lin has no chance of victory, exuding overwhelming confidence. Watching from a distance, two goblins look alarmed. One warns the other that the reptilian's new form seems extremely dangerous and not something they should underestimate. Lin narrows his eyes, analyzing the situation. He mentally formulates a strategy: first immobilize the enemy with an elemental seal, then inject cursed blood into his body to weaken him from within. Executing his plan, someone strikes the reptilian creature's chest with a glowing blade. The precision of the hit pierces deep, sending a burst of energy through the enemy's torso. Lin's confident expression contrasts with the reptilian leader's stunned reaction. The creature's mouth gapes in pain and shock, realizing too late that Lin had already outmaneuvered him. A violent explosion erupts from within the reptilian's body. His arms flail back, engulfed in golden light as the power inside him spirals out of control. tearing through his defenses. The woman appears amidst the ruins, holding a golden sword. Tears well in her eyes as she stares ahead, stunned. She softly mutters that she has finally found the person she's been searching for all along. In the distance, enemy soldiers panic upon seeing her. One yells that the sword saintess has arrived, while others scramble to delay her, fully aware that she's an overwhelming threat. Women's body sways slightly, as though something is off. She's barely holding herself together. Suddenly, she collapses face first to the ground. Her body gives out completely, shocking the enemies who witness her unexpected fall. Lin steps closer, looking down at her. He notes that despite her exhausted state, she still made it this far and even managed to strike their strongest leader. The muscular beastman with flaming hair snarls, furious that she dared to act while so weak. He raises his weapon, declaring that they should take her life while she's vulnerable. He turns to the others with a sinister grin, tossing a sword toward his underlings and commanding them to finish the job. The goblins hesitate, visibly frightened. As the weapon is tossed, the two goblin soldiers hesitate and slowly retreat. The beastman's order clearly doesn't sit well with them, fear creeping into their faces. Later, the beastman scratches his head, watching his subordinates gossip around a table. One of them jokes that the fallen girl was incredibly bold to come here alone. They casually seek his agreement. Standing nearby, Lin responds flatly. He questions their bloodthirst, pointing out that the girl is already unconscious and barely clinging to life. There's no need to kill her. Lin kneels beside the unconscious women, calmly stating that she holds far more value alive than dead. He gazes at the women, her face peaceful despite the battle. He orders his men to bind her first before doing anything else. Night quietly turns to morning at the camp. Inside one of the shelters, the woman now lies on the floor. A goblin girl pokes at her curiously while Lin watches from nearby. The girl gasps with excitement, squeezing the unconscious woman's arm. She exclaims with childish joy at how soft and fluffy the girl feels, treating her like a fascinating plush toy. The woman begins to stir. Her eyes slowly open, revealing faint confusion as she regains consciousness. She finds herself lying on the ground inside a tent. Lin stands over her, smirking, while a knight silently watches from behind. Lin casually greets her, calling her the sword saintess. Suddenly recognizing him, woman cries out in joy, calling his name repeatedly Goblin. She's overwhelmed with relief, shouting that she's finally found him after all this time. Lin warns her not to move recklessly. With her current injuries and drained energy, she wouldn't even be able to put up a fight against them. The woman screams Goblin's name again and again in desperation. She stumbles forward, emotionally overwhelmed, ignoring her weakened condition. Lin's expression sharpens with confusion. He mutters in disbelief, trying to understand what's going on with her sudden behavior. He angrily snaps at his subordinates, scolding them for just standing around after he raised them. He demands they stop the women immediately before things get out of hand. The beastman reacts, grabbing the women by the waist with one hand. She's restrained effortlessly while another goblin looks on, puzzled by the chaos. The beastman awkwardly scratches his head, visibly confused. As the tension eases, he unknowingly relaxes his grip, letting the girl slip free. In an instant, the woman charges directly at Lin. Her tattered dress flows behind her, and her eyes are fixed on him with unshaken resolve. Lin is caught off guard, shocked by her sudden burst of strength. One of the goblins panics and blames the beastman for letting her go. Another minion stumbles while trying to respond. A subordinate mutters nervously, calling out to his boss.
This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.